Let's begin with security matters, where gunmen from Nigeria have killed at least 5 Cameroonian soldiers and wounded several others in the village of Bakinjaw on Cameroon's border with Nigeria. It is the latest in a series of attempts to seize territory in the area. Akia Tioga, a member of parliament for the district of Accra in southwestern Cameroon, where the incident took place, said the attack happened early on Friday when hundreds of armed Fulani herdsmen crossed the border from Taraba State in Nigeria to attack a military post. He said it was a retaliation after Cameroonian soldiers killed several herdsmen the day before. Agua Linus, traditional ruler of Bakinjaw, said the attackers also burnt down his home. Earlier, a security analyst and executive director, Elixir Trust Foundation, Emmanuel Ikule, shared his thoughts on this.
In these various places, be it Taraba, be it around Benue, that have borders with Cameroon. And also within Cameroon, also there, currently in Nigeria, also we have refugees that are currently in Benue State and also in Cross River. So because of still insecurity issues and also crisis between Francophone and Anglophone speaking persons in Cameroon, so these persons some of them are currently in Nigeria, and they have been there since 2018. This is about six to 7 years. They are still there till date. These issues that led to the crisis of them being in Nigeria have not been resolved. That is there. They have still been that issue of some persons not being comfortable, not being part of Nigeria again. Those issues are still lingering. And then also we have up to 16 to 20 IDP camps in Benue State as a result of insecurity caused by herdsmen. It has not been resolved. Those persons are still in camp to date. Nothing has been done to it. And these persons' headers still come in and go out as they will, despite it having barracks in these locations, particularly in Benue.
Enugu State Governor Peter Mbah has reaffirmed that the state no longer observes the sit-at-home order or adheres to directive from external group. Speaking during President Bola Tinubu's visit to the state, Governor Mbah highlighted his government's advancements in security, crediting an AI-driven surveillance network and a distress response squad for enhancing safety across Enugu State. The governor expressed gratitude for President Tinubu's recognition of these efforts, emphasizing that it aligns with his vision to expand Enugu's economy from $4.4 billion to $30 billion within the next 8 years. President Tinubu's one-day official visits included the commissioning of several projects, further solidifying federal support for the state developmental strides.
Your Excellency, I'm pleased to announce that we no longer observe sit-at-home in Enugu. Our people go to work every day of the week, and we no longer take orders from non-state actors. And we have been through a number of projects which Your Excellency has graciously commissioned. A number of those projects are essentially connecting the dots for us to enable us realize our dream of growing the economy from the current levels of 4.4 billion to 30 billion. Our development model is one that it's all encompassing and inclusive. It takes into account the weakest amongst us, and which is why in the smart school, the smart green school that Your Excellency commissioned earlier today, it's being built across the 260 electoral wards in Enugu State.
The Commissioner of Police in Delta State, CP Olufemi Abaniwanda, has ordered the immediate rearrests of 2 escaped suspects, Oraporaye Jobome and Debbie, and this follows the escape from police custody at Ovguan Aja Police Station. The police commissioner has also summoned Divisional Police Officer CSP Bolos Somoza and his team for an investigation into the incident. The escape, which occurred on January 4th, 2025, has sparked outrage in the Aja community, which has petitioned the Inspector General of Police for swift action. Jubome and Debbie were initially apprehended on 31st December 2024 after a rise in criminal activity. Their escape has raised concerns about police negligence and the safety of the community. The Katsina State Police Command has foiled a kidnap attempt involving 4 commercial vehicles on the Funtua-Gusau Highway, rescuing 18 passengers unhurt. The incident occurred on January 3rd when armed bandits ambushed the vehicles, firing sporadically in an attempt to abduct the passengers. Now, the police operatives from the Faskari Division swiftly responded, engaging the attackers in a gunfight and successfully repelling the assault. On the same day, police thwarted a cattle rustling attempt in Kafro local government area, recovering all stolen animals after a shootout. The divisional police officer of Kafro sustained a gunshot wound during the operation, but is recovering at the hospital. The Commissioner of Police, CP Aliyu Musa, has commended the officer's bravery and urged the public to provide timely information to aid security efforts. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has launched a series of operations across Nigeria, resulting in major arrests and drug seizures to kick off 2025. On 1st January, NDLEA operatives arrested Aishat Elediye, a 61-year-old drug kingpin at her mansion in Lagos, known as Yaruka. She had been on the wanted list for leading a drug cartel in Mushin. Her arrest followed the interception of a truck carrying 1,540 kilograms of cannabis. In another operation, U.S.-trained filmmaker Emeka Mbadiwe was apprehended in Lagos after his associate was caught with 17.3 kilograms of cannabis. Additional raids across Kwara, Kano, and Rivers states yielded seizures of drug-laced cupcakes, tramadol, and 316,800 bottles of codeine-based syrup. And still on drug trafficking, 3 Nigerian women have been freed after spending 10 months in jail in Saudi Arabia for drug trafficking. The women, Hadiza Abba, Fatima Mala, and Fatima Kanai, arrested on March 5, 2024 at Prince Mohammed bin Abdulaziz International Airport in Medina, following the arrests of 2 Nigerians with 1.69 kilograms of cocaine. They were suspected of aiding narcotics trafficking. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirmed their release on Sunday, emphasizing the role of diplomatic efforts in securing their acquittal. The women have been handed over to the Nigerian consulate in Jeddah, where they were received by Ambassador Muazzam Nayaya. They are undergoing immigration processes for their return to Nigeria to reunite with their families. And now to judicial matters, where the recommendation for the compulsory retirements of 2 judges by the National Judicial Council, NJC, over allegations of age falsification has sparked debate among senior lawyers in Nigeria. On November 15th, the NJC, chaired by the Chief of Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun, announced retirement of the Chief Judge of the Imo State High Court, Justice Chukwuemeka Chikeka, and the Grand Kadi of Yobe State, Kadi Babagana Madi, over discrepancies in their dates of birth. Justice Madi reportedly had 3 conflicting birth dates: December 10th, January 28th, and July 1959, with his actual birth year confirmed as 1952. Now, while some Nigerians have called for prosecution of the judges as a deterrent, several senior advocates of Nigeria have expressed opposing views. They argue prosecuting the judges might be excessive, suggesting disciplinary action taken by the NJC is sufficient. And for context, we're joined by Executive Director, Sterling Center for Law, in person of DG Ajari. Good evening. Glad to have you join me on the news. Okay, could you help us try to unmute your device?
Yes, thank you. Good evening. Thanks.
All right. What do you think are the legal frameworks that govern the prosecution of judges, when it comes to matters like this, falsifying their age? And how do these laws balance independence of judiciary as well as accountability?
Well, the decision to compulsorily or impose compulsory retirement on the indicted judge is commendable. That's some major leap from what was obtainable in the past. Quite a lot of times, allegations against judicial officers just get, pushed under the table. But it is a commendable step. But it is not enough. It is not enough. And in cases involving criminal misconduct, prosecution is not only appropriate, but it is necessary. Not as an act of vengeance against the judicial officers, but to uphold the principles of justice and to deter future misconduct. And very importantly, to restore public confidence in the judiciary, something that is currently missing amongst the Nigerian public. And you will agree with me that if the members of the public do not have confidence in the judiciary, then we already have a problem. And the likelihood is that people are going to start resorting to self-help in seeking for justice.
Now, when it comes to ethical guidelines, what should be followed in cases where judges are accused of falsifying their age?
The code of conduct for public officers and judicial officers emphasizes honesty and transparency. So this, of course, necessarily means that judicial officers are expected to be above board. And expectedly there will be some cases of erring judicial officers going against this established ethical conduct. But the appropriate thing to do is to take steps to punish in order to deter future occurrences. And so for me, I think it's both the code of conduct for public officers, for judicial officers, is clear that they are expected to live above board. And if you now have those judicial officers who are supposed to sit and preside over cases of persons who are accused of age falsification, being involved in such age falsification allegations, then such persons should be prosecuted. And this is not to say that one is already passing judgment. One is just saying they should be given their days in court. If the courts find them guilty, the appropriate sanctions should be meted out.
Do you know of any precedents, or history whereby such landmark rulings where judges have been prosecuted before for falsifying personal information occurs, and how were such cases handled?
I do not know specifically of any case in which a judicial officer has been tried for personal data falsification. But I also do not think that there is any need specifically for such precedents. In fact, if there has been none, this is an opportunity for us to create one. This is an opportunity for us to show, not just to Nigerians, but to the whole world, that because we understand that judicial officers symbolize the integrity of the justice system, anyone found of such misconduct will not only be, given such minor punishments as compulsory retirement, but will be appropriately punished through the judicial process. And this is just basically global standard. That's, anybody, irrespective of offices that they occupy, whether in the judiciary, in the legislature, or even the executive, such persons should be open to judicial inquiry.
Well, Mr. Ajare, if you can hear me, do you feel this in any way will impact the trust the public have in the judiciary?
I didn't get your question.
Okay, I was asking if you think in any measure or way this can impact trust people have in the judiciary.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You see, like I have said, prosecution for misconduct is not just punitive, but it serves as a reaffirmation of the judiciary's commitment to ethical standards. This will set a precedent, like you have said. It will show that the NJC has taken a firm stance on the issue. And quite expectedly, it will deter others in not just in the judiciary, but in other sensitive public offices from engaging in dishonest practices. And that the judiciary is leading by example. Now, if the judiciary is leading by example, then any other person who is engaged in such practices will know that if they are brought before a court of law, certainly they will be sanctioned. And so I am very, very, very positive that this will, in at least no small measure, restore some level of confidence in the judiciary amongst the Nigerian public.
Well, indeed, we do hope that will happen to Nigeria's judiciary. Thank you so much for your insight on the news. Deji Ajari, Executive Director, Sterling Center. Many thanks indeed for your insight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for staying with us. President Bola Tinubu will depart Lagos on Monday for Accra, the capital of Republic of Ghana, to attend the inauguration of President-elect John Mahama on January 7th. Mahama, who served as the 12th president of Ghana between 2011 and 2017, was re-elected in December 2024. He will succeed President Nana Akufo-Addo, who ruled from 2017 to 2025. President Tinubu's trip to Accra is at the invitation of the president-elect, who had visited Nigerian leader earlier in December. Mahama and President Tinubu will have a long-standing personal relationship, just like Nigeria and Ghana maintain a long-standing bilateral relationship. President Tinubu, as chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, will join other African leaders at the ceremony. Former Rivers State Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Mustafa, has officially handed over to Olugbenga Adepoju, the newly appointed Commissioner of Police in Rivers State. Mohammed Bala Mustafa, who was recently promoted Assistant Inspector General of Police and deployed to Zone 6, Calabar. AIG Bala speaking during a brief handover ceremony at the police officers' mess in Port Harcourt, appreciated the officers and men of the Rivers State Police Command and residents of the state for their support and cooperation during his 3-month stay as Commissioner of Police in the state.
I am going. I thank God that I promise you people of Rivers that I came to Rivers in peace. I want to work in Rivers in peace, and I'm going to leave Rivers in peace. To the glory of God, I came in peace. To the glory of God, I walk in Rivers in peace. And to the glory of God, I have lived in Rivers in peace. So please, I crave the indulgence of the officers and men of Rivers Command to extend the same cooperation and support given to me to my successor, the newly branded Commissioner of Police, Akufo-Addo. And I equally call on all the Rivers people to continue to give support to the command, to continue to give support to the new incoming Commissioner of Police for him to succeed.
The complicities of maintaining law and order here require a proactive and strategic approach. We'll have zero tolerance for corruption, and we're going to enforce discipline. Among the rank and file and senior officers, I have my team. I have the monitoring team who is very, very efficient in our duty. We have the CPS squad too that goes out to arrest policemen who have erred or who are not doing the right thing. I'm going to put them to work, and there will be improvement in attitude of our men. In fact, it's going to be zero tolerance for corruption. We'll intensify efforts against cultist-related activity, and we'll partner with the youth and the civil society to encourage the youths from desisting from committing crimes, upholding professionalism. I will equally want my men not to have anything to do with politics. We'll be apolitical as much as possible, resisting any political interference.
It is almost 20 months since the present administration in Abia State took up the mantle of leadership. For these times, there have been challenges in some critical sectors, environment being one of them. It does appear the state government has its hands placed tightly on sanitation issues, with recent successes recorded in Abia and Umuahia. Our correspondent Chiwe Ugele throws more light.
Sanitation was a major concern in Abia State, portraying it as one of the dirtiest states in Nigeria. Governor Alex Otti, upon assumption of office, set up measures to tackle the menace of waste management in the two major cities of Aba and Umuahia, which had initial hiccups and disappointments by the people. However, in what looks like a major turnaround, the challenge of refuse management in the capital, Umuahia, and commercial city, Aba, seems resolved, hitherto known for heaps of refuse looking different these days. Esther Aja is the Special Assistant to Governor Alex Otti on climate change and sustainability, who attributes the success of the refuse management so far to the government's approach.
One of the things we've been doing is the monthly sanitation exercise, and there have been jingles. If you hear the radios, the TV, jingles in English and local languages across stations in the state. We also saw the government doing the intervention of removing waste in Aba. And then we also saw the state government partnered with the federal government to evacuate certain waste deposits across the state. So
the citizens cannot help but marvel at the conditions of the cities recently.
I see this place is now neat. Unlike, do you know how this place used to look before? This place used to be a refuse dump. Like everywhere used to be a refuse dump. But right now you can see it's no longer like that. At least we have our separate dump bins and all these things. And they are cleaning it up regularly. So we feel very happy about that.
The things I'm seeing with all indication, Umuahia is a better place now, unlike before.
Government says it has outlined better plans for 2025, but will require the people to make sacrifices to support the effort.
Clearing waste, managing environment costs a lot of money. And one of the things we're trying to also do is to engage private service providers. People would have to pay for their waste. The days of throwing your waste and then expecting somebody else to pay for it should gradually be over. It's our collective responsibility.
The people are also concerned about sustainability of the interventions.
The thing I can tell him is to maintain the tempo, because I don't see him as someone who wants to retract. I see him as someone who wants to push forward.
Let him continue with what he's doing, because imagine Aba, many governors have tried, they couldn't do anything in Aba. But when you go to Aba now, everywhere is very clean.
While the roads and streets stay clean even during the festive period, government must discourage residents of Umuahia and Aba from dumping waste into gutters and canals, which end up on the streets once it rains. In Umuahia for News Central, I am Chinwe Ugele.
Youths in Zonunkwa, Zangon Kataf local government area of Kaduna State have called on residents of the state to embrace peace and unity and shun divisions. And this was during an annual carnival in the state, which brought together families, friends, and neighboring communities. Our correspondent, Emmanuel Bugudu, shares more.
It's a season of fireworks in Zonkwa, Kaduna State. The carnival, which has brought together Christian faithful in their numbers, is aimed at promoting peace and unity.
God help us, God bless us, and God be with us from the beginning to the end.
So my message to everyone, you always be humble, be patient with everybody, love your neighbors as you live, you understand? Yeah, not look anybody trouble. Yeah, this is Nigeria, one love for Nigeria.
While the traditional attires of the various ethnic groups within the local government was in full display, it was also an opportunity to showcase the unique cultures of the different ethnic groups in the area.
The yellow has to do with people that went for hunting, and the rest, that's our forefathers. So we usually use it to upgrade the standard of our culture, so that the entire world itself will know that, yes, Boju chiefdom is doing well, is moving on.
The joy of the African or the black man trying to copy the culture of a white man. So, but it's just in the spirit of celebration, actually, that people would like to see or have some little differences on their face, just to showcase that sign of joy and happiness. and then to celebrate with people coming from far and then near. And white generally symbol of peace and joy for the season.
The young lads have made their message clear, and it's very apt and very auspicious. Their message is very clear. They want peace, they want unity in not just their local government, Zangon-Kataf, but in Kaduna State and indeed the Northwest at large. In Zangon-Kataf, Zankwa, Kaduna State, for News Central, I am Emmanuel.
A new chapter of hope and determination is unfolding at Government College Maiduguri as a 17-year-old Yusuf Musa has defied all odds to rise to become head boy of his school. Displaced by the years of conflict in the northeast Nigeria, the orphan is leading his peers in unwavering commitment to developing a website for his school. News Central's Umaru Kerawa brings us the story of resilience emerging from the northeast state of Borno.
The head boy, Yusuf Musa, with the red beret, alongside his deputy, amidst hundreds of students at Government College, Maiduguri. The young, talented Bama-born boy, alongside his family members, suffered traumatic experience in the den of terrorists in Nigeria's northeast.
We settled with them almost for 7 months. At that time, I was 9 years old. I was a little bit wise and clever, so we even fetch water for them. They carry my siblings to Sambisa Forest. When they attacked Bama, then the soldier packed us to Maiduguri. We were allocated into different IDP camps.
Raised in an IDP camp after losing his father at a teenage age, Yusuf struggled with financial instability, however, managed to excel academically. Always interested in technology, Yusuf took it upon himself to learn web development skills using free online resources and guidance from local mentors.
Sometimes we'll even spend night here, 9 o'clock before we go back to hostels. We'll be working on dashboards, the website menu, navigation bars, and so on. So we are being split into teams. So we be able to create some part of it, and it's just a minor part that remains for us to complete the website.
I spoke with Yusuf Musa's peers and school management.
We are in group, but everybody was given a work to do. Some are working on the principals, some teachers, some the corps members in the school. Yes, to collect their biographies and launch it to the network.
These students are a gift to this school. They have that kind of resilient spirit to learn. And because of that, that one makes them to be so interested in trying to find out and to know all about what brought them to this school.
They understand all this computer language that is Silang, and they perform very well. The head boy is talented and exceptional among all of them, because the way he manipulates in the computer, in fact, I have no doubt he can do it anywhere, anytime. So the school is supporting them with, recently, just last week, the school supported them with unlimited data.
On a mission with so many questions wanting answers, I traveled to the ancient Bama town, a local government once inaccessible due to Boko Haram's control over the town.
After the years of displacement, Yusuf Musa and his mother made the decision to stay in their hometown, Bama.
Ai gani kan yara na biyu an tafi da shi ma na hakura. Yanzu da mutum da makaranta ne in Allah ya ce za su yi muka hakura haka. Suna ta yi yara suka dawo kowa yana farin ciki. Gashi kuma yanzu dai ba a san ko za su gama musu makarantan ba ko zai sai a hanya ba mu sani ba.
The challenge for the family now is how to get money to pay for Yusuf's SSCE and further his studies.
With the cap making that everybody engaged in our home, we used to contribute money. Sometimes my mother cannot even buy what she likes. She always donates the money for our food stop. She provides food for us, and the money that we make, we are using it to buy our school properties with it.
Cap making is what Yusuf Musa's family struggle to meet ends meet as the young talented boy forges with the quest to establish a website for his school and further his studies. In Bama for News Central, Umaru Kerawa.
Thank you for staying tuned. At least 8 civilians have been killed in central Mali, with sources blaming the Malian army and Russia's Wagner group for the attack. The incident occurred on Thursday when a Hilux vehicle heading towards a refugee camp in Mauritania was fired upon, killing all passengers. A local official confirmed the attack, and a parent of one of the victims stated the bodies were buried in a mass grave. The humanitarian source reported the attack took place between Nyono and Nampala. The Azawad Liberation Front, FLA, a separatist group, condemned the attack, blaming the Malian army and Wagner mercenaries for killing 9 civilians, including women and children. Mali's army is yet to comment on the incident. The country remains embroiled in political security and economic crisis. In East Africa, Sudan's army chief has welcomed Turkey's offer to mediate in the ongoing 20-month conflict with the Rapid Paramilitary Support Forces, and this is according to Sudanese Foreign Minister Ali Yusuf. Earlier in December, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan proposed helping establish peace and stability in Sudan during a call with General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. At a meeting in Port Sudan on Saturday, Burhan conveyed Sudan's support for the initiative to Turkey's Deputy Foreign Minister, Burhanettin Doran. The UAE, previously accused of backing the RSF, has expressed support for Turkey's diplomatic efforts. The war, which has killed tens of thousands and displaced 12 million people, continues to devastate Sudan, with analysts warning foreign interference could prolong the crisis. Turkey has pledged to mobilize regional actors to aid the peace process. In Central Africa, Rwanda-backed M23 rebels have captured the strategic town of Masisi in eastern DRC, local officials confirmed on Saturday. The March 23 movement, M23, a militia supported by Rwanda, has been advancing across eastern DRC since 2021, displacing thousands and worsening an already dire humanitarian crisis. Alexis Bahunga, deputy of North Kivu province, confirmed Masisi's fall, describing it as a major setback that plunges the region into further humanitarian turmoil. Masisi, home to around 4,000 people, serves as the administrative hub of the Masisi territory, an area known for its agriculture, livestock, and mineral resources. The town lies approximately 80 kilometers north of Goma, the provincial capital of North Kivu. The situation continues to escalate as international efforts to address the conflict face significant challenges. Thank you for staying with us. Israel has accused Hezbollah of failing to comply with the terms of a 60-day ceasefire, warning of potential military action if violations persist. Defense Minister Israel Katz stated that Hezbollah has not withdrawn its forces beyond the Litani River in southern Lebanon, a key condition of a ceasefire. Katz, after visiting the Northern Command, emphasized that Israel will act on its own to ensure the safety of northern residents if the ceasefire terms are not met. The truce, which began on November 27th, has seen mutual accusation of violations. Hezbollah has also accused Israel of breaching the agreement. The ceasefire mandates Hezbollah's withdrawal north of the Litani River and dismantling of military infrastructure alongside the Lebanese army's deployments with UN peacekeepers in the south. The World Health Organization, WHO, has declared the outbreak of a new coronavirus in China a global health emergency, citing concerns over its potential international spread. The World Health Organization Director General, Tedros Ghebreyesus, made the announcement during a press conference in Geneva after the organization's emergency committee convened and recommended the designation of a public health emergency of international concern. Now, Tedros emphasized the declaration was driven not by the situation in China, but by the risk posed to countries with weaker health systems that may struggle to contain the virus. Among the WHO's recommendations to control the outbreak are accelerating development of vaccines and treatment, improving preparedness in vulnerable nations, and combating misinformation about the virus. Security forces under Syria's interim government have launched a large-scale operation in Homs city, focusing on two districts predominantly inhabited by the Alawi minority of former President Bashar al-Assad. According to security officials, the Ministry of Interior, in collaboration with the Military Operation Department, is targeting individuals accused of war crimes and others refusing to surrender weapons or report to settlement centers. The operation also seeks to uncover hidden caches of ammunition and arms. Following the Islamist-led rebel overthrow of Assad last month, interim authorities have been registering former soldiers and conscripts, urging them to relinquish their weapons. Armored forces have been deployed to Homs to enforce compliance with a curfew imposed in parts of the city to ensure order during the operation.
استكمالا للحملة السابقة التي قمنا بها لمطاردة فلول عصابات الأسد في هذه المنطقة التي تعتبر مرتعا لشبيحته، حيث قام بتسليح هذه المنطقة بالذخائر الحية الثقيلة والفردي. استطعنا ضبط مخزن كبير يحتوي على عدة ذخائر ثقيلة وفردي والقبض على بعض ممن تورط في دماء السوريين.
نحن كإدارة العمليات العسكرية قمنا بمؤازرة الأمن العام في مدينة حمص، وقمنا بفرض طوق أمني حول الأحياء السكنية لملاحقة فلول النظام البائد.
In the world of sports, the Gulf of Tournaments in honor of Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has ended in Jos, the Plateau State capital. News Central Chizobanyan will report that the tournament also marked the end of the General's working visit to units and formations of the Armed Forces of Nigeria under Operation Safe Haven within Plateau and Kaduna State. According to General Musa, the exercise served as a unifying factor to encourage civil-military relations, which in turn sustains and promotes peaceful coexistence. Among the notable people present at the event included the Chief of Defense Staff, former Governor of Plateau State, Senator Simon Lalong, and the GOC 3 Division, Major General Abdusalam Abubakar.
All we want is to unite together, and Gulf gives that opportunity. It makes you understand that you cannot be, no man is an island. We need to work together as a team. And for a country like Nigeria that is diverse, we need to be united. That's the only way we can progress, and that's the importance of it.
To commend the Chief of Defense Staff and his entire armed forces, because this year has been a year of peace, and you can see the atmosphere. We are playing golf. There's no crisis. That's to say that there's no much crisis. They have brought it to its lowest ebb.
For the first time in several years, we had a very peaceful Yuletide season. So I'm happy, I'm glad. It means that the template that we are evolving now to make sure that we bring in novel ideas is working, and security is enhanced thanks to the guidance from the Chief of Defense Staff.
It promotes unity, promotes understanding, and promotes humility of the mind. Because when you play with people, no matter their status, you play as one.
Ethiopian runners dominated the 2025 C&D Chairman Marathon, setting course records in both men's and women's categories. Roti Aga claimed the women's title with a record-breaking time of 2 hours, 18 minutes, 45 seconds, surpassing Mari Dibaba's 2015 record. Aga's performance was the second fastest marathon time for women in China, just 37 seconds off her personal best. Butemi Sean Imana and Victoire Wereta Adamasu secured second and third place respectively, completing an Ethiopian sweep of the podium. In the men's race, Dawit Warders set a new course record of 2 hours, 6 minutes, 6 seconds, outpacing Lesotho's Tebello Ramakogwana of 2 hours, 6 minutes, 18 seconds, and Ethiopia's Asafe Boki, 2 hours, 6 minutes, 32 seconds for the first place. The Central African Republic CAR national football team coach Sebastian Nagoto received a unique reward for his team's historic achievement. The country's Ministry of Youth and Sports honored Ngato with a brand new motorcycle in recognition of his pivotal role in guiding the team to their first ever qualification for the African Nations Championship. The 5A surpassed expectations, securing their spot in the tournament by defeating established teams. With the celebrations behind them, the team has shifted focus to prepare for the upcoming CHAN tournament. The competition will be co-hosted by Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania from 1st till 28th February 2025, and the car is eager to perform well on this prestigious stage. Francis Alexandra Mola claimed his first ATP Tour title at the Hong Kong Open, defeating Kei Nishikori 2-6, 6-1, 6-3 in 1 hour 43 minutes. Mola, who became just the third player to win a tour-level title after losing the opening set in every match of the tournament, ended Nishikori's bid for his first ATP title in 6 years. Despite Nishikori's strong start, taking the first set in 33 minutes, Mola fought back to win. Nishikori, a wild card, had made a remarkable comeback from injury, reaching his 27th tour-level final. The 35-year-old will return to the top 100 for the first time since June 2022. Mola's win will see him rise to a career-high 56th in the world rankings. And that's all on the news. Let's take a look again at some of the major stories. Gunmen from Nigeria have killed 5 Cameroonian soldiers in cross-border attack. President Tinubu is set to attend swearing-in of Ghana's president-elect. Mali deadly attack has left 8 civilians dead. You can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I am Bola Tinubu.